Okay, so as you could see, I was working on the bottom part of the kit where I placed these circular tubes here as support stands, and also cut the inside frame here. So I put plates under it so it can hold on to these two battery packs. I super glue them, so they're theirs forever and ever. Then I fed the wires up through the hole, custom hole that I made there. In which case I'm going to cover it up. It does show the wiring. So you understand, the two battery packs will be for powering up the two switches. And here are the two switches, two connectors here. And I'll be putting the RF switches right here. Let's make sure this light works. I don't want to put this on, next thing I know it doesn't work. Take this battery, this light I mean, put that there. Good. That powers on pretty good. That's 3 watts, of course. And then we do the same thing here. Same thing. Perfect. So now I'm going to take these. I actually marked one. I didn't mark the other one. Let me just do this now before I forget. There we go. Alright, this one's a little short because I cut it for me to put it inside the base, but after realizing didn't feel like doing that, I'm doing it here. So that way it's in that area. I think I'm going to put something here as a stopper to hold it up, because I don't want it to be held up by wiring. But let's see here, LED lights go up. Actually this one goes down. Alright, fair enough. Doesn't matter. So LED light set number 1 will power up the 2 pods and the thrusters in the back. LED number 2 set will power up the gun and the I-field generator. So let me begin soldering, and give me a minute. Okay, so I put more detail on this, as you can see here, and made the base frame, as you could see. So let me break this down. First I took the tube here and I cut a hole under it, put a plate inside, super glued this, and then I attached it to this end. I originally was going to put this here flush. All I had to do was feed the wiring that connect these two to the LED light here. I was test fitting it until I hear a snap and the wire, one of the wires from the LED snapped off. So I was like, okay, great. I'm going to have to yank the whole thing off and then put a new LED wire in there. Sorry, LED light in there. Thankfully I did not glue this at the time, but I knew that I had to put more spacing in between for the wiring to maneuver and be flexible. So what I did was I took regular plow plate like this and I bent it around until I had a circular feature to it, and then wrapped it around like that. It's not, as you can see, perfect, but it's circle nonetheless, or half circle you could say. Then I glued this to this, glued this to this obviously, and then I glued this frame in here. These parts were from the campaign parts from that little thruster thing, and I was going to put the whole thing on this, but then I saw it was too big. But then I said, let me remove this, and fair enough, this came out okay. I'm going to probably put something around here to cover that up, especially here. I don't like these little gappy hole things. I haven't figured that out yet. These 3 parts that you see here is from the wave parts that I picked up. Is right here, the 5.0mm to 7.0mm tubes, and I bought these because I thought these would be great for like a Canon like setup, but they're not hollow, they're solids, as you could see. Regardless of the case, this came out pretty well. I was only able to put 3 because a 4th one here blocks the connection to the base. So it's going to be like that. I'm thinking of maybe cutting this and then putting this cap here like so. Don't know if that would be a good idea. I do have something else, like one of these guys, and I could probably put it at the end. I'm gonna test that out and see if one of these has a good diameter shape to it. You know what I mean? Let me open one up right now. So I could probably put that there. I think this would be fine, like there. Cover it up and stuff like that. I could also probably get another tube and put it here, like halfway there, and then a little bit here, and then have that gap there. Then cover something up here. Don't know yet. That I have to flesh out. I'm also going to be covering up, put more plates around it. But I don't know what to do with that yet. It's like this one, put it around like that in an angle. But I'm not pretty good with that type of symmetrical, or not symmetrical, but well, you guys know what I mean. Because I was also thinking of maybe take some wires. Not this one. I have a black wire which I have no idea where the hell I put it, and I put it to the side for this specific reason. And I can stick the wires in here and then feed them around, like up to here. Stuff I gotta put here to cover here, and then of course putting the back part. I did have this part here which actually fits perfectly in here, as you could see. And then the other one I have, but then I found I had this extra piece that you could see here. That was from, I forgot what kit it was. I know it held up an armored part, but if I put it there, let's see, it could probably work pretty well like that. Don't think the other way will work because the gap here is too small, and that pops out, so that doesn't work as well. I was actually thinking of maybe putting like vents in here. Still have to flesh this out. Alright, let me continue on. Oh, I did put this part here to cover this section up, so that came out nice. But for now we need to work on the sides and things like that. But so far the I-field generator is starting to take shape. Alright, so strengthened a little bit more of the kit, and needs to be cleaned up a bit more here. This plate is already solidified. I put a plate here to hold into this to cover this up, and then I adjusted the sides to this to fit this, closed it up. There's a little bit more excess plastic there, so I'm going to be sanding it down, cleaning it up, but most likely this whole area is going to be covered up and things like that, so we won't see none of the dirtiness. But I'll definitely put some greeblies on it so it could be seen. At the same time, coming around here, I put these little plates here because I wanted to put something around on top of here, and that's leveled out to conform with whatever I'm going to put here. I still haven't figured out what to put yet. I've been fussing about with this part, thinking that maybe, okay, what if I put that here, but I'm not liking it because this thing is so bent out of shape in a weird way. I originally was going to put this on the side for the main cannon, but still, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to put that there. I also had another part here. Hold on a second. I put it away, and I have a mess. Oh, here we go. I was actually thinking of putting the shield here. And maybe that sounds like a good idea, but it's so, I don't know, it feels like it's out of place, and with you gotta remember, there's only 2-3 pieces here, and with the detail of these, I don't think I have thruster parts to put there, or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. So these are two things that I'm not going to use. I may change my mind. I do have an idea. Once I figured the whole thing out here, my idea was I actually put two clamps that will hold both the beam rifle and the bazooka of the RX-78-2. So it will simulate the fact that if he's done with his platform or the platform got damaged, he can jettison and then pull out his gun and bazooka and then continue the fight. So that will be an idea that I thought about for a while, and I have some cool parts for that to actually simulate that. So that is more something that I'm going to do along the line with the idea with this concept. I already superglued these two parts here, and it looks nice, but when the pods here still bent down, so I'm going to be putting something here to level it out a bit. That, and I have a tube which I need to put in there and then superglue it. Now, behind here, cleaned up, put some plot plate here on top, give it more detail. I'm going to put something here, and my idea stemmed from these guys, which I could probably put this here, and at the same time take these little winglets and put it there like that. So it looks like this. Put one there, put one there. They won't turn, because again I have the stuff that's here, so it cannot interfere with that. Lately I was actually thinking of putting this one here, but it didn't conform well. At one point I wanted to put this here and maybe put like another thruster here, but then I forgot, wait a minute, how am I going to connect to this? So that's definitely not an idea. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to do the greeblies here, because I need to put the two fuel tanks. So yeah, this is okay, and I gotta find the other one here. I cut one and I don't know where it is. I'll find it so I can put this here. Now, at the same time while this is all happening, I was still thinking of what I'm going to do, how I'm going to connect the RX-72 to this. I have the idea and haven't fleshed out the connection here. The main idea would be him grabbing on to both something so it could simulate he's, piloting or maneuvering the assault pack type system. So it shows that he's holding on to something. And the part that I had for this, that was on this, I'm going to probably end up using it, but I'm going to add something to it. Something that I'm going to probably scrape off from another kit. While I was looking through the Goosey and Rebate parts that I had left over, I found this. And I said to myself, this can be used for something. So I was thinking this can actually be used to hold up the feet. So two parts will be him holding on the hands, while two other umbilical type systems will hold up the feet. So he's, he's like on a bike, or he has the feet where he, like some sort of control where he can actually adjust adjust his position or whatever. So everything is controllable by both feet and arms. And I found this little connector here from this this campaign part, high grade customized campaign 2018 beam, Gatling gun, and joint parts. And there are various versions of the joints here. This one is a really thick joint, which unfortunately will not fit in the hole for this. But the smaller one, which came off, I said, here, this is what it looks like. One's smaller, one's bigger. Or, and then, since this has this little hole there, perfect. I think this will work. As a matter of fact, if he's here, sorry, the V-fin fell off. I can do something where it can bring it down to here and connect something here so he can latch onto this. Bend the legs a bit. Yeah. This might work. I like this idea. And then of course the connector here will come around so he's holding on to this like that of some sort. And he's piloting it. I just need to connect this to here. That's what I need to figure out. I love these self-discoveries. That's why I want to share this with you guys. Sometimes these things come out of nowhere, out of the blue, and you go, wow, that's cool. Alright, so I did some slight modifications, slight, and I put this like kind of like an under, like a whole support something here, agreeably you could say. But of course, you know, by putting more stuff here, I open up the possibility of making it more front heavy. Not only the fact that I have to put this guy in here as well, and I have to figure out if I could find something I could put up front, like a nozzle. Kind of hard to make round things, solid, you know, like a standard, like how can I say, the straight surfaces or corners or anything like that. That's easy, but circular or round or semicircles, those are things that really are difficult to make, and you would have to look for parts that will work. I have a distinct feeling I have something that I could put here and act as a nozzle brake, and maybe put like a ring around it. This is the 8. No, this is the 7 going into the 8, and I think I have the 8mm one where I can probably put a circle around that, or maybe put it in there. I don't know yet. I haven't figured the whole thing out, but I wanted to give it a little bit more detail and not leave it by itself alone. Once everything is all done and it's glued into place. I had these parts, which is what I put in there, and I have one put to the side when I figure out if I decide to put another one in there. I'm thinking of maybe putting it right here, like 2 of them here, and then held into like a clamp tie system here. I think that would be a good idea. Then I want to put like some lines here, like a rib line type setup. Someone would say, okay, why not just use the scribing tool and scribe it? But I think that would probably be not a good idea. I'm going to probably put plates on it, like a thinner plate of a styrene sheets there. So for there, here, and here. Plus I got to look at what gribblies I can put onto the sides and on the top. The back area is something that I have to work in. And I also put some stuff here, I mean this little thing here, because I was also working on something that will go there. I have something that I worked on, and I don't know if it comes out right, but let me show it to you. And it's this part. Let me just take all this thing off so you get to see this. So I made this structure like setup, and I made it solid and all that stuff, and then I have this that goes into there because I was trying to figure out what can I use this. This could be used for something, and clearly it's for this part. So if I do this right here, and this one right here, it gives that extra detail. Plus I'm going to find something that will go here around it. Now I put these are from the Gatling guns back here, and since I have this gap here, my intention was maybe making, well, don't know if I'm going to do it here or I'm going to do it here, but I'll probably make like like large vents, like something to expel steam, or heat sinks, you could say. But these could be the condensers to power up the cannon. And using this metallic spring, I could use and cut, connect to there and connect in there like so with something which I will rig and put in there. Didn't think about that when I closed this whole thing up, and I just thought of it, a few moments ago. But I can probably figure out something to stick in there and then cover up. Then I need to like put some stuff around there. Don't know what to put here, but I have something that I just found. Hopefully this will work. Now, to connect it to this, I was trying to figure out how to do this in a way, and part of it, I had an idea which was going to use like little, how can I say, put like styrene sheets, like the rigid ones, where it will slide into place. At the same time, I was looking for something for weights, and what do you call it? Somebody sent me a message which was kind of funny, and the message was, go to go to like a fishing store, like a sports store where they sell, not sports, outdoorsman store, you could say, and get yourself some weights that will allow you to put it and balance it out. But I forgot that I had these magnets, and for those of you who don't remember, I used this on my Bellerophon to not only increase the height of the waist, but also connect it to it. So I put a magnet in here and the other magnet in here, and what the heck is that? No, whatever. If I do that, it connects into place like so. And it doesn't hold up right because this can come off, but I haven't put something, I want to put something in there to hold it into place, and something that will slide into there like so. So it will clamp on, but it will have like a structure to hold it into place. And this is of course weighted. It is a little heavier back here, but because everything's all, right now I don't know how much weight I'm going to put on this, and I don't know how much weight I'm going to put on that, but it should balance out either or. And that kind of looks okay right there. Alright, so far so good, and I'm not turning it on because one of the wires came off, and technically speaking that's actually a good thing, because in the connection to these two, these are way too long for me to connect to this. The distance between here and here is literally an inch and a half. I'm going to sever the wires, and from the inside here in the gap, I'm going to put this little circle thing here. I'm going to solder the wiring through the hole, but as I reduce the size, and then I'm going to get the what do you call it? I picked up that, I had it here a minute ago and I can't remember. I made a mess here again. Every time I clean up stuff to move around and work with, and as I'm going back to work and working on it again I move the stuff around and I go, damn it, I just had it here a minute ago. Basically, I purchased one of those heat sink, those tubes, those plastic tubes that if you use a hot iron, it'll shrink to fit. And I bought two, but then I bought another pack later on, so that way I can merge those two together, and then of course it'll be easy for me to unplug. That was an idea that I'm planning to do, but then I'm actually considering, and I'm still thinking about it, probably gut yank these two wires, cut them, resize them, and then re-solder the newer ones that I purchased because they were much more smaller and easy to manage. These things are too huge, and I think that they're going to annoy the hell out of me as I'm trying to connect them at the show. So that's something that I have to work on right now. But other than that, so far this is coming out the way I want it. I need to put something there because I didn't do that right. Didn't realize this thing came off. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. I'm hoping that the next video you see will be everything done and I can then move forward to painting.